Hey, what's up, everyone? Hope you all are doing well. So, I ended up finding another bag of DVDs. No Blu rays this time, unfortunately, but I did find a bunch of DVDs. So, I came across in a certain area of where I work a trash room that had a bunch of bags and stuff, and I came across this one bag that literally had a bunch of like mixed papers in there and books and a whole bunch of DVDs. I'm like, oh, I set it in the trash cart. Made sure it was towards the top because it's a hassle trying to pull all the garbage out. Excuse me, when you're trying to get the DVDs and stuff out of that one bag. So I made sure that was on top, and then when it came down from excuse me, the trash room. Sorry, I apologize. A lot of spices in the burrito I ate for lunch. That's why it's making me cough and clear my throat. I apologize. Plus, I was sick for several days and wasn't really up to filming much. And now mom's got the cold, and I hope to God she doesn't give it right back to me because that would be a disaster. Anyways, yeah, so I basically took the bag out, opened it up, and I looked through the bag to see what DVDs I could come up with. I counted them. There's 19 in the bag. Nine of the movies are rated R, just to give you guys a heads up. Although two of them in there are really good ones that I'm going to show you guys. The others, some of them are rom-coms. I'm not really into romance comedies that much. I like regular comedies. And that they're G, PG, or PG-13 if they're not ungodly or cursing God or any LGBT garbage. Don't want that in my movie. There was a bunch of books too, but only one book that I grabbed. It's free stuff, so why the hell not? And I also do have some physical media that I want to show you guys, some games that I got for Black Friday. And the seller gave me a deal on eBay when I bought them. I got one game for free. So that was $9 off that price of that game. And a $3 discount because I bought in bulk. So I saved about 12 or 13 bucks, which is nice. Anyways, let's go ahead and show you guys what I got in this bag. I'm going to take them out of this bag and show all of you out there on YouTube. Most of these are G, PG, or PG-13 because it comes from a hospital. So the hospitals try to get movies that are not NC-17 or rated R. But this time there is some R-rated content in here. Like I said, it's all a crapshoot on what's there. There were a few other movies that I saw in the box. I saw Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Monsters Incorporated, Wreck-It Ralph, Road to Perdition or Predition, Bandits, Terminator Salvation, and there was one other. Oh yeah, there was Twilight the Eclipse, which was in the DVD case. The DVD was in there, but I didn't take it because I know that that's demonic. And there was one other movie. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was a comedy or action film. I think it was Hangover Part 3, honestly. I think that's what it was. None of those were in the case. It was just a case with no disc in there, you know? Anyways, here's what we got. We got Inglourious Bastards. This is a good R-rated action war film. I think Brad Pitt was really good in this movie. He really carried the film pretty well. The lady that was in it was the main character of the story, her and that black husband of hers in the film. But I don't know. I don't feel like she was the biggest like standout character. I think like Brad Pitt was the standout character in this film, leading that Italian army, American Italian army. You know, we're into one thing and one thing only. We're into killing Nazis, gentlemen. Um, I'm gonna censor this. I'm not gonna curse God. I said, listen, man. We already killed your one friend. I want you to tell me where the Germans are hiding out on this here map. I respectfully refuse. Listen, man, I'm gonna give you one more chance. The guy that's back there, he's got a baseball bat with spikes on it. When I give the signal, he's gonna come out here and he's gonna beat your ass with it. So I'm gonna ask you one last blank damn time. Where are the German hiding out on this here map? You and your group of stray dogs. All right. I can't whistle with my finger in my mouth. So, come on out there, Johnny. Oblige him. This man wants to die for his country. It's just such a good war film. It's amazing. This movie came out in 2009. So it's been about 16 or 17 years now. It's crazy. And it still holds up to this day. Hard to believe. Okay, I'm not a fan of Jonah Hill because of his raunchy humor and all the sex related dialogue. But this is the movie The Sitter. I probably won't watch this because it's rated R. Crude sexual content, pervasive language, drug material, and some violence. So yeah, I probably will pass on watching this. I'll probably just throw it up on the bay and sell it for $7 or $8. I'll check the disc to make sure it's in good shape. I only saw one of his movies and it was super bad. And in my opinion, it was super bad. Get the pun? Super bad. I understand why it won an award for its humor, but it had too much sexual content in it, and the language in it was pretty bad. Like I said, I don't like R-rated stuff. Jonah Hill is no exception to that. There's only a few R-rated films that I will tolerate. Bridget Jones, sorry, never seen this movie. I've heard of it, never watched it, mainly because it's an R-rated film, language and some sexual content. So, yeah, it's probably a romance film. I'm not into romance movies, for those that are wondering. Are you into romance movies, Larry? No, I am not. So, but it was in the case, and I figured, what the hell. It's in there, I'll take it. I was trying to get every single movie that was there. Although I did leave Twilight behind. Here we have Nicolas Cage in Leaving Las Vegas. I know that this is also rated R, so I probably won't watch it. The only Nicolas Cage movies I've seen is Gone in 60 Seconds, Next, and I saw bits and pieces of Primal, but turned it off because there was too many curse words against God. And I saw Face Off and National Treasure 1 and 2. Oh, and I also saw Con Air. I saw that as well. And The Rock. But The Rock also had Sean Connery in it, and there was one other guy in that. I forgot his name. Might have been Brad Pitt. But yeah. Leaving Las Vegas. Story of Us. This is a Bruce Willis movie. I've never seen this movie before. It's probably a romance film. It says romantic, so this is one of his few films besides The Whole 9 Yards and The Whole 10 Yards and The Kid, which is not an action movie. It's more romance. I've seen a handful of Bruce Willis movies. I saw excuse me, I saw one of the war films he was in, Tears of the Sun. And I saw 16 Blocks. I saw Breach, which was not very good. I've seen a lot of his newer films. There was only a few of his newer films that were worthwhile. Gasoline Alley, I saw that. I saw The Siege. I think he's in The Siege. Or maybe that's just Denzel Washington. I get that mixed up. Striking Distance. And The Fifth Element, I saw that. And I saw 12 Monkeys. And The Jackal. And that other film where he's trying to protect the boy's life from a bunch of criminals that want him dead. I can't remember the name of that film, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, you know. And there was a few others that he was in. Oh yeah, I saw the Die Hard movies. I saw those as well. I saw all of them. I didn't like some of the language in them, though, because they did use the Lord's name in vain in them. But other than that, it was a good cop story. That last one, though, could have been better, honestly. The first four were really good, but that fifth one did not go out with a bang. The fifth one's a 2-star out of 5-star movie for me. The fifth one just... Honestly, the fifth one kind of sucked, in my opinion. Compared to the other ones. Dead Man Walking. I've never seen this movie. But I know it's R-rated. It says it's R on the back. Because there's a rape scene in the film and there's some violence. Yeah, I never saw it. Sean Penn's a good actor, though. Got the movie Traffic right here. Never saw that either. Heard that's an action movie. Dance with a Stranger. Looks like this came out in 85. It's rated R, though. Miranda Richardson and Rupert Everett and Ian Holm. I've never heard of any of those actors, honestly. It's in there, though. Just so you guys know, here's the disc. All these ones that I picked out have the disc inside them. Here's probably the best one out of the bunch, and it is rated R, because there's violence, language, and some sexual content in it, is The Boondock Saints. Man, this movie only grossed, it was like $30 million for the budget, I believe, and it only grossed about double that, like 60 or something. Most movies, the people that act in them are hoping for triple that amount, like 120, 150 million, 250 million, something like that. But this one really didn't gross that much more than what they put into the budget of making the movie. And this movie came out 25 or 26 years ago, you know. It came out in 99. I'm like, shit, you know, like, nobody's really talking about this movie, but yet it's a good action film. It really is. It's a shame that it just gets overlooked, left in the shuffle, along with another action film that I think is pretty good, that I don't know if you guys have seen. It's called The Guest. That's what it's called. It came out in 2014. And no one's talking about that movie either. A few other underrated action films is Attack the Block, The Losers, and I don't think the Boondock Saints 2, that one doesn't even get talked about either. Yeah, and even Speed. I feel like Speed is kind of underrated as well. Give me a second. Let's see, we're at, like what? Oh shoot, we're at 15 minutes, so this might be a half-hour video. I like to talk. What can I say? Alright, we have a Western film called The Sun Owners, which is from like the 60s. This is PG, so I'm going to probably check this out. I like PG movies. I'm okay with them. As long as they don't have any witchcraft in them, then I'm fine with it. And I know that some PG movies do have witchcraft in it. And you're like, what? No, they don't. Yeah, they do. Maleficent, Maleficent 2, Mistress of Evil, Hocus Pocus. That has witchcraft in it. Yet, it's PG. I don't think that The Nightmare Before Christmas is something that Christians should watch either. Personally, Melanie Mack, I see that she's wearing a lot of Jack Skellington stuff. I personally, if I was a girl and I was a Christian, I would not want to wear that because it's demonic stuff. You know, Tim Burton writes a lot of demonic stories. Corpse Bride, demonic. Coraline, demonic. Frankenweenie, I think is okay, but it has some dark undertones. You know, and then you had the Charlie the Chocolate Factory movie, his remake. That movie sucks, in my opinion. The original is much better than the remake. And I don't understand why they had to make another one on top of that. But anyways, this is another film. The Last Picture Show. I don't know if this is a thriller or if this is a Western. It says it's rated R though, so probably won't watch it. But there it is, for all y'all that are wondering. But yeah, that does look like a Western film. This is probably the worst out of the bunch here. This is a crappy, like, educational type of film, I think. It's called Big Cat. Well, I'm not going to read the whole thing because this video would just be extremely long. You can read the back. I'll hold it there for 10 seconds. So you can pause the video and read what that's about. Alright. Better pause it if you want to read what that's about. The Lion in Winter. Peter O'Toole and Katharine Hepburn. Doesn't get much more classic than this, unless it was like a James Stewart film from the 50s. This I will probably check out. It's rated PG, so I'm okay with that. I've not seen very many Katharine Hepburn movies. I was not alive in 1968 when this movie came out, so I'll check it out. I know my mom's a big fan of the Katharine Hepburn stuff. My mom likes clean films, clean movies. But my mom's also very picky on what she watches. She's more picky than me. I'm not as picky. Just as long as it's not NC-17, rated R, or a PG-13 movie with LGBT garbage in it, and that it's not blasphemous against God. They're not saying GD this and JC that, or saying, oh my God, like every 2 seconds in the film, and that there's no gay relationships in the movie, and that it's nothing satanic. Here we have this. This is a craptastic movie in my opinion. This is what is garbage in my opinion. I'm not interested in this, but I grabbed it anyways because it was free. It's a Food Network DVD. I showed this to my mom and she was like, oh, well, that looks interesting, son. Well, great. You can watch it, but it's not going to be something that I would sit there and watch. Well, okay, kids. I'm chopping up the vegetables here. And then after I get done, we're going to stir the pot. And then after that, we're going to put it in the oven. We're going to make ourselves a great stew. It's going to be wonderful. Oh, and I can't forget the bread. We're going to have to put the bread in the other oven for like 20 minutes. I like cooking. Don't get me wrong. I love to cook. But watching it, for some reason, is boring. I cannot sit there and watch cooking programs for more than a half hour. More than one show, I get bored. Just can't do it. So it's not for me. We got a Jeff Bridges movie, Bad Company. And it's PG, so I'm going to check it out. It's a Western film. Looks interesting. We have a TV show called Time for Murder. I've never heard of this show at all, but it's complete. It's got all 6 episodes, so I assume it's the first season. I'm not sure how many seasons this thing has, but I'm going to look it up and see how long the seasons were and how long the show was around for, because I've never heard of it before. It looks like something that, like, Alfred Hitchcock would put out if Alfred Hitchcock had lived past, like, 1975, you know? Like, this looks like something that came out in the 80s. Alright, next up, we have The Middle Passage, which, surprisingly, it wasn't quite factory sealed. It had the seal on the top and on the side, but this part right here was bare. Now, I don't know what happened. It was like a broken seal or something. But I had to cut this thing open with a pair of scissors or something to get the thing open. I'll just do that real quick. There we go, I got it. And this is the DVD. It says it's not rated, but a lot of times when something's not rated, it ends up being rated R, you know. But I'll look into it. I'll see what Movie Guide says about it, or IMDb, because they have a parent's guide on these movies. And we'll see what sort of content is in it. Hopefully it's nothing gratuitous, you know, or nothing wicked. Take that wrapper off of it. But it looks interesting. From what I read on the back, it looks like it's one of those thriller murder mystery type of films. So I do like some of these as long as they're not R-rated, you know. And here we have, I think, a romance comedy film. I'm not sure if this is PG or what the rating is on it. It doesn't say. I assume it's PG, hopefully. Alright, it says PG-13. Hanging Up. So this looks like a comedy, or it could be a romance comedy, I don't know. But it looks like a comedy. I like comedy movies, so PG-13, I'll look into it and see if it's okay to watch. And then, these were some of the cases I was talking about. Some of them were in these, like, bootleg cases. I know they're bootleg because I used to find, guys that would sell them in the early 2000s. Bootleg cases like this where they'd make a copy of it and would say DVD-R and the name of the title on it with a marker that they would sell you for $5. You know, it was like 1 for $5 or 6 for $20. You know, actually when they first started it was like 1 for $10, 6 for $20. They changed it because later on it started getting hard to sell movies. But I took one case. I figured, what the hell, I might need it, so I decided to take it. I didn't take the other 6 or 7 cases. I left those. I just put them back in the bag and threw the bag in the garbage. But I took one case, just in case. You never know if you're going to need it. And then these 2 movies I found loose. They were by themselves. They were under some paper inside the garbage bag itself. So I decided to grab them. I have one of them. The other one I didn't have is Independence Day and First Night. Never seen First Night, but it looks like one of those medieval type of films. And these are both PG-13. I have seen Independence Day with Will Smith. Very good. It's a shame that Independence Day Resurgence really sucks. And that they put LGBT garbage in there, because there's a gay guy in that movie. Just, no. And it had no Will Smith in it either, so that movie sucks. Alright, and the last thing is a book. It's not even a DVD or a TV show. There was also a another TV show in there, Scrubs, which I would have grabbed because I could have easily made 20 or 30 bucks off of that. But it was missing disc 1 and disc 3. It only had disc 2 and disc 4, so I didn't take it. I just put it back in there and threw it away. But the books, there was nothing really interesting for books except this one, Guinness World Records. I like looking at these books. I've seen these when I was a kid. I just never, I never had the money to buy them. You know, as a kid, my allowance started out at $5, I believe, and it went up to 10, then to 20. I didn't get anything more than that, so I had to save money. You know, I had times where I didn't even spend my allowance for a couple of weeks before I would go and buy a video game or something like that because I just didn't have enough money. But yeah, this is the Guinness World of Records book. Looks like the Animal Edition. Looks pretty cool. I'm gonna check it out. And that leads to the Black Friday pickups now. This seller didn't have a whole ton of games, but I was able to get about 8 games and 2 more movies off the seller. And one game ended up being free because of Black Friday. I asked him, hey man, would you give me a deal since it's Black Friday? And he said, sure. So I ended up getting 1 game for free. I'll show you the free game in a moment. But for Genesis, I picked up Phantom 2040. Never played this game before. Seen gameplay on it. Looks like an action platformer game. It's based on a comic book, surprisingly. I mean, I never would have thought this would be based off a comic book. But it came out in 1995, so I was only 3 years old when this game came out. But yeah, it's still pretty cool. I look forward to checking that out. I like how he wrapped it, too. It's nicely wrapped. Sorry that I'm doing this on camera. I probably should have done this before being on camera, but gotta get this thing open. And unlike Jack of Gold Kick's hands, I can't just rip it apart. I need a pair of scissors. I don't know how he's able to do that. He's got Hulk hands when it comes to that shit. For me, I don't have those kind of hands where I can just pull, shit apart. Alright, let's continue. So yeah, first up we got Phantom 2040. Other games we got here, a couple of them were not complete. They were in like loose disc shape, which isn't really my favorite, but the guy said you gotta buy 2 to get 1. Excuse me, for discount prices. So I ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4 complete. But I said you need at least 6. So I got 2 more that were loose. And I got 2 DVDs, and they say, hey man, you gotta get at least 1 more game. Order 1 more game in your order, and I'll give it to you for free. So I basically paid for it, but he reimbursed me the money, the $9. Okay, so we got Dragon Rage for PS2. It wasn't a sports game, and I'm not like a huge Dragon fan. But I'll admit Panzer Dragoon is a pretty damn good game. So I'm going to try this game out. And it's not Dungeons and Dragons, so I know it's not evil, it's not demonic. So I'm going to give it a try. But I never played it before, personally. But I figured it looked like an interesting title, so I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. you know. I picked up a copy of Oddworld Munch's Odyssey on Xbox, original Xbox. This has some damn good graphics for 2002. I think it came out 2002. 2001. Sorry. Yeah, it had some really good graphics. You know, the gameplay was okay. Had some like crude humor in it. Could fart at your enemies and things like that. But yeah, it was an interesting game for its time and still holds up to this day. And I wanted to check it out again. I wanted to play it again. I didn't have it in my collection. I found one Wii game that the seller had that I was interested in. Some of the other Wii games, they were turds. They weren't good games. They were shovelware, so I passed on those. But I did find one that was worthwhile, and that's Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. So it's nice to have this. I didn't own this one. I had the other one, Step and Roll, but I didn't have this one. But it's nice to have that, so I have both of them now. Picked up a nice racing game on the PS2. We got Whiteout. Looked interesting. There's another game played similar to this. It's called Sled Storm on PS2. It was also on PS1. Although, surprisingly, the levels were different. But yeah, this looked cool. It's got like some music in the game. Rock music, you know, while you're like playing the game to help with the entertainment value. So yeah, I'm going to check this out very soon. Look forward to checking that out. And then we had the 3 loose disc games. And his PS1 selection was pretty piss poor. He only had about 10 games in there. Rocket Power, I think Crash Bandicoot 2, which I already had. 1 or 2 racing games, and then the rest were just like junk. You know, just garbage. Just ones I wasn't interested in. So I only picked up one title. I picked up McGrath versus Pastrani. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. But there it is right there. I like some motorcycle racing games and ATV games. They're a lot of fun to play. So I figured, what the hell? It's cheap. It's only about $8, $7. I'll pick it up. Even though it's not complete. Then I picked up Alias on PS2. I am a fan of the show. My mom was a fan of the show when it came out. And I liked it too. It's a licensed game, so you know how the reputation is for licensed games. I'd say 8 times out of 10 they suck, but 2 times out of 10 they're usually good. They're pretty good. So we'll see if this game sucks or if it's actually good. I don't know yet, but hopefully it's good. And then the last game, I was looking through his PS2 stuff and all the stuff that he had for game-wise, and there wasn't much left because most of it was picked through. But then I saw this game that wasn't a sports game. It was like Pump It Up. I'm like, that sounds interesting. I'll get it. And this is the game I got for free, so I didn't pay anything for it. It's Pump It Up. I looked up some gameplay of it. It's like a music rhythm type of game. Hopefully it doesn't need a dance pad or anything. Otherwise I won't be able to play the game. Other than that, yeah, I'll at least give it a try. I don't know if I'll like it or not. But, I mean, what the hell? It was free. So, for a free game, we'll try it out and see if it's actually good. Hopefully it doesn't suck. I hope that it doesn't suck. And then the last thing I got to show you guys is Batman from the 60s with Adam West and Burt Ward. Rest in peace to Adam West and Burt Ward. They are both dead, unfortunately. This was a good show. I liked this show. It was fun. Holy sea cows, Batman! It's the Joker! Holy night shades, Batman! It's the Penguin! You know, like crazy ass shit that Robin would say. Holy hell, Batman! Holy sea cows, Batman! Holy cat's pajamas and meows, Batman! All that crazy stuff that he would come up with, those one-liners. It was hilarious. Good acting, good show. Although the Batmobile car looks fake as hell. Like, let's be honest, it doesn't look real anymore at all. It looks more realistic than the Batman movie from 2005 and 2008 with Christian Bale than the Batman Batmobile that's in this movie just looks like it's a crappy CGI wood car. You know, just it looks ridiculous. But yeah, the show was pretty fun, and I really liked the show. And I didn't own any of the seasons, so I figured, what the hell? It's like $12. I'll get it. And in this movie, Hannah with Saoirse Ronan, that Eric Bana and Kate Blanchett is the villain. This was a good action movie. I really like this movie. I tried to get this off of the Movie Guy, but he couldn't get it. But now I finally have it in my possession, and I really liked this movie when it came out. It came out in 2010 or 2011. I think this was her best movie, in my opinion. It's up there with that mystery movie, See How They Run. And I know she's also been in some other work like Little Women, which was based on a TV show from the 90s, if y'all didn't know. But she was in the movie Little Women. And also a movie called Lady Bird. And The Lovely Bones. I saw that too. She had like her DNA changed. And she was like a super experiment. She's like a assassin. People are after her, trying to catch her or something. She goes rogue and everything with her dad. They ended up splitting up. Fortunately, her father gets killed. Yeah, I wonder if they're ever going to make a sequel to this movie. It'd be nice to see a part 2 to this movie, but it never happened. I don't know what Saoirse Ronan is doing, but if you see this Saoirse Ronan, please make a sequel to this movie. That'd be awesome to see a sequel to this. And please make it good, because I know sequels sometimes have a bad reputation of sucking. Please don't do that. Make it good. Make the action good. You know, if you want to do PG-13, it'll be fine. PG-13, I'm more suited with PG-13 action movies. But some of them, they lack action. If it's an action movie and there's only 2 scenes of action in the film, I wouldn't call that an action movie. I call it more of a thriller. Come on. This is not Heat, for crying out loud. So just make it good, please. Just hear me out. Make it good. But yeah, this is a good movie. I definitely recommend it. It's underrated by this point. It's been out for like 15 years or 16 years. Definitely worth checking out. And it's cheap too. It's only about $8, $10. Can't go wrong for that price. Well, those are all my pickups that I got recently. I do have another bunch of movies and games coming in the mail very soon. But until that time, I'm not going to do another pickups video. And this isn't really a pickups video per se. This is more of a DVD find. But I guess we'll call it a pickups video as well. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. God bless you all, and Larry the Batman fan signing out. Peace.